Hi, family. Yes, I'm back again. Hello and welcome to World Market Index Live. My name is Titilayo Oyinsan. It's a pleasure being here with you as much as I can to give a quick scan of the current news in the capital market, money market, and of course, including commodities. So let's talk about this. The global market struggled to gain momentum as two major bursts swung between and gains. For the NGX, the ASI paired losses closing in the red. For the BSEC DCI, it inched up closing in the green. For the NSE, stocks recorded losses finishing the session in the red. However, the South African stocks climbed, finishing the session in the green. For Europe, stocks rise to an 8-week high, and for the US, Wall Street rally gained steam. US stocks apparently extended losses on Taiwan jitters. More in a bit. Now, at the end of today's trading with the Nigerian Stock Exchange NGX, a total of 121,160,508 and 4,360 corresponding to a market value of 4,168,876,419.52 were traded. Naira were traded, and the ASI paired 31.07, that's minus 0.06% points to close at 50,594.97. Now, 105 NGX listed equities participated in trading today, and yeah, it ended with 22 gainers and 15 losers. Lasaco Insurance led the gainers with a 10% share price appreciation. And what else do we have here? Okay, just a bit of a glitch here. Okay, I'm back now. All right. Now, at the end of trading, we had 22 gainers and 15 losers, as I said earlier. Assurance. Lasaco Assurance led the gainers with 10% share price appreciation, closing at 99 kobo per share, followed by UPDC at plus 9.71%. And on the losing side, Learn Africa came out last with an end of day price depreciation of 10% at 2 naira 34 kobo per share, followed by University Press at minus 9.79%. And this is representing a 1 week gain of 0.81%, a 4 week loss of 2.31%, but an overall year to date gain of 18.44%. And today's data shows a 6% decline in volume, a 46% improvement in turnover, but a 7% decline in deals. The current market capitalization of the Nigerian Stock Exchange is 27.3 trillion naira. Now we're heading over to South African stocks. The JSE FTSE index moved up 608.34. That's about 0.89% points to close at 68,610.57, representing a 1 week gain of 0.27%, a 4 week gain of 4.34%, and an overall year to date loss of 6.92%. 336 JSE listed equities participated in trading, ending with 214 gainers and 100 losers. Eastern Platinum led the gainers with 17.46% share price appreciation, closing at 3 Rand 70 per share, followed by Jasco Electronics Holdings at plus 12.5%. But on the losing side, Quantum Foods Holdings came out last with an end of day price depreciation of 14.02% at 4 Rand 54 per share, followed by Astoria Investments at minus 10.71%. And today's data shows 21% decline in volume, a 15% decline in turnover, and a 16% decline in deals. The current market cap of Johannesburg Stock Exchange is 19.8 trillion rand. Let's talk Botswana now. The BSE inched up 6.32. That's 0.09% points to close at 7,268.71. It's representing a 1 week gain of 0.34%, a 4 week gain of 1.2%, and an overall year-to-date gain of 3.7%. Four BSE listed equities participated in trading, ending with two gainers and no losers. The two gainers were Less Shago Holdings at plus 0.67% and New African Properties at plus 0.59%. Today's data shows a 26% decline in volume, a 58% decline in turnover, but a 100% improvement in deals. Current market cap of Botswana is 392.5 billion BWP. In Nairobi, the Nazi paired 0.32, that's minus 0.23% points to close at 139.94. At the end of the trading session on the NSE, a total of 15,469,400 shares in 952 deals, corresponding to a market value of 430,163,339 Kenyan shillings were traded. 48 NSE listed equities participated in trading, ending with 20 gainers and 15 losers. Kapchorua Tea Company led the gainers with 5.99% share price appreciation, closing at 106.25 Kenyan shillings per share, followed by Liberty Kenya Holdings at plus 3.85%. And on the losing side, Samir Africa came out last with an end of day price depreciation of 9.74% at 3 Kenyan shillings 52 per share. Followed by Nairobi Business Ventures. Today, it had a minus 8.31%. And after all that, today's data shows a 19% improvement in volume, 15% improvement in turnover, and 5% improvement in deals. The current market cap of Nairobi Securities Exchange is 2.18 trillion Kenyan shillings. Now we're going to head over to Europe. All right, then, for Europe, the equity markets rose an 8-week high after a negative open, with Germany's DAX rising 1% and the Stock 600 adding a 0.5%, led by gains in tech stocks. And investors focused on corporate results and shrugged off geopolitical tensions between US and China. Now, it was exacerbated by House Speaker Pelosi's visit to the island and poor economic data, including services, PMIs, and retail sales, which point more to the coming recession in Europe. And on the corporate front, Societe Generale posted a similar, or rather smaller than expected, loss in Q2, and Commerce Bank swung a bigger, let's say, swung to a bigger than expected net profit. AXA's profits increased. Siemens Healthineers kept its outlook for the 2022 fiscal year, and both losses and revenues from Just Eat takeaway were lower than anticipated. On the other hand, BMW warned of a highly volatile second half of the year. Let's head over to Asia, shall we? Okay, let's see. All right, so the Shanghai Composite fell about 0.71% to close at 3,164, while the Shen Component dropped 1.14% to 11,982, extending losses in the previous session, with mainland stocks remaining highly volatile as traders continue to monitor rising tensions between China and the US, as the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan raised some tensions. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Hua Xiangying tweeted that Pelosi's visit was a major political provocation. And while the People's Liberation Army will reportedly conduct military exercises in the areas around Taiwan from August 4th to 7th, the risk of escalation in the Taiwan Strait once Pelosi leaves in the region is expected to keep markets on the edge. Investors also reacted to upbeat Chinese services activity data for July as improving domestic COVID-19 situation boosted the sector. Heavyweight new energy consumer, retail financial names also led the decline, while semiconductor and defense costs mostly advanced. So for the CAC 40, which is France's main stock index, it rose to its highest closing in nearly 2 months, with the benchmark CAC 40 ending above the 6,447, or rather 6,470 mark, given by gains among real estate and financial stocks. Positive corporate results were a key driver for sentiment, with investors shrugging off concerns about a worsening economic outlook and escalating tensions between us and China. ASA jumped over 5, the most since on that benchmark, after reporting a better than expected first half and a €1 billion share buyback program. Societe Generale also posted smaller than expected loss in Q2. And at this point, we head over to the US. So the Dow added almost 300 points, while the S&P 500 and Nasdaq rallied 1.1% and 2.1% respectively, as investors digested a slew of upbeat earnings results from corporate America and economic data. PayPal soared more than 10% after reporting solid second quarter results and positive forward guidance, while almost SoFi gained over 20% on an earnings and revenue beat. Shares of shares of corporate America earnings, and of course the economic data is showing so many interesting results, since investors digested a slew of upbeat earnings results from corporate America, and of course some economic data went their way as well. PayPal soared more than 10% after reporting solid second quarter results and positive forward guidance, while SoFi gained over 20% on an earnings and revenue beat. Shares of Moderna rose about 15%, and that surpassed expectations. 15% after posting quarterly results that it really surpassed Wall Street's expectations. And on the flip side, AMD tumbled over 3% after the chip maker issued third quarter revenue guidance that surprised investors on the downside. On top of that, better than expected economic data, including a rebound in the ISM non-manufacturing purchasing managers area, eased concerns really, and the concerns were about the imminent recession. Heading back to the UK, if we can. So the FTSE 100 reversed early losses and closed 0.5% up at 7,446, halting a two-day decline as worries over the pace of monetary tightening by the Bank of England were offset by a 43% surge in Avast shares after it won regulatory approval for Norton Life Lock's $8.6 billion deal. Meanwhile, investors weighed more economic data, earnings reports, as well as geopolitical tensions. A fresh PMI survey showed that UK service sector activity growth eased it into its slowest since February 2021, when the country was under COVID-19 lockdown. And on the earnings front, Hill and Smith Holdings operating profits jumped 16%, and Taylor Wimpey expects full year profit to be around the end of the consensus range. Now, let's talk futures. So, Brent crude futures cut early losses to fall below $100 a barrel after rising more than 1% early in the session, after OPEC Plus agreed to raise September output by 100,000 barrels daily last month. US President Joe Biden visited Saudi Arabia and called on OPEC to increase production. Oil prices fell more than 2%, reversing earlier gains, with WTI crude futures back to $93 a barrel. Now, sugar futures on ice hovered around the 17.8 cents per pound mark, rebounding from the one-year low of 17.2 hit on August 1st as investors took advantage of the recent plunge in prices and increased their long positions. Futures steadied around the $3.50 per pound after sliding for 2 days as investors weighed lingering economic concerns and heightened political tensions on the ongoing supply challenges. Now, that's all we have time for on the World Market Index Live. Let's see if we can do this again sometime soon. Until then, happy trading. Interesting. Wow. Really interesting. All right, then, guys, I'm going to head out. It's been a great day. Until next time, of course, happy trading.